Alright guys, look, the only way this video thing is going to work is if you treat it as a very valuable resource. I'm willing to take all the extra time to make all these videos and have them for you when I'm not here. And so I'm asking you to take it very seriously, okay? Look, when you're watching a video, take notes on it. I would suggest that most of the time you watch the entire video all the way through, and then when it's done, then you play it again, and then when you're playing it again, that's when you pause it to take notes on writing down steps, all that kind of thing, okay? But the first time through, don't pause it to write down steps. Just watch the whole thing, unless the video prompts you to stop. And in fact, this video, I am going to ask you to stop and try some stuff on your own in the middle, okay? Now, you cannot allow yourself or others to be off task. When we start playing the video, if you're not ready and you're talking to your neighbor, texting, which you should never be doing anyway, or looking for split ends in your hair, then you're going to be behind, and it would be very unfair for you to ask everybody else to stop the video so you can get caught up because you were wasting your time earlier. Because then everybody's wasting their time trying to get you caught up. So don't let yourself be off task when you're doing the videos. Don't let other people be off task when you're doing the videos. They'll be short and quick. And so you just got to focus, okay? When you're set loose to work in the book, try you read the words, of course, like you read the book, words read, and you take notes on what it is you read, and then you try the examples that are in the book, okay? In this video, we're not going to use a book, but for future reference, begin your homework in class and work together until the bell rings. Now, if you're off task, you may lose that right to work together. It's not, you may lose that privilege. It's not a right, okay? So if you're abusing it and just being obnoxious and noisy and off task, then the substitute's going to say, sorry, you're going to work by yourself, and that would really hurt because you're not going to learn very well by yourself, okay? So that's up to you. Don't screw it up. And then last thing, please, 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 if you use calculators or a compass and a protractor, put it away when you leave. Also, look around your desk, make sure that there's no trash on the desk. If you accidentally drew on the desk, erase it. It's not fair to expect the custodian to come and clean up after you, and it's really not fair to have students come in after you to have a messy room because you made it that way. So please, be neat. All right, so here's what we're going to do today. Not yet, but in a minute, when I tell you, I'm going to ask you to get a calculator, okay? But it used to be before school started, every day I'd go for a run. Now I'm fat and broken and I can't do much anything, so this is not new. But this was actual data from a run that I did before school one day. And this was typical. I'd run anywhere from, before school, usually anywhere from 5 to 10 miles. And I would start off slow, and somewhere in the middle I'd get faster, or maybe I'd do mile repeats. Anyway, this is these are the splits for the 5 miles I ran that day. And what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to have you answer these 3 questions. How long did the whole thing take? What's the average pace? Because minutes per mile is how people that are talking about running, that's the units they use. I ran an average 5-minute, 15-second mile for this run or whatever. And then the other one is, because this makes more sense to everybody else, is what's the average speed in miles per hour. So people that don't run, this will make more sense than this. People that run, they need this. So I'm going to have you do all 3. Take about 10 minutes and just see how you do, okay? After the 10 minutes, we'll come back together and we'll unpause the video and I'll show you how I did it, okay? So go ahead and get a calculator and get started. Pause the video. All right. If you hear me now, you didn't pause the video. I'm about to show you how I did this. All right? You cannot add time on a calculator like this. Doesn't work. This is not 0.15. This is 15 out of 60 because there's 60 seconds in a minute. This is 15 out of 100. Totally different things. So you got to be really, really careful. If you add it up this way, you are wrong. I don't know what the answer would be. I'm not going to continue. I want you to look at what you did. If you were adding them up like this, it's wrong. Can't do it like that. Now what you can do is you can add the seconds together and all the minutes together, and that's what I would prefer to do. So I do 8 plus 14 plus 14. And that is 36 minutes. And then I'd add up all the seconds. So let's see here. 15 plus 36 plus 12 plus 2 plus 20. Now this is going to be a one-shot video, so if I make a silly mistake somewhere, you need to speak up and say, hey, wait, hold a minute, okay? In fact, because that happens so often, I get 85 seconds, I'm going to double check that. So 15 plus 36 plus 12 plus 22, 85. Now, of course, this is more than 60, and these are our seconds. So we didn't run for 36 minutes and 85 seconds. That doesn't, well, we did, but that doesn't make sense, and that's not how we say it. We have to convert this. So this is actually 125, right? Because 60, 85 minus 60 would be 25 with the 1 minute. So our total time would be 37 minutes and 25 seconds. Now, I sincerely hope I didn't make a mistake there. If I did, and you know what it is, I would appreciate it if you'd pause the video and tell everybody what it is I screwed up, okay? Now, average minutes per mile. We cannot use a calculator to divide this by 5. Now, minutes per mile, this is our minutes per mile means divided by miles, and we did 5 miles. So what you got to do is you got to convert this whole thing into seconds. So 37 minutes is 2,220 seconds plus our remaining 25. So that's 2245 seconds divided by 5. Do you see how I did that? This is our seconds. And then after we get a new number for this, then we're going to change those seconds back into minutes. Okay, so 2245 divided by 5, 449. That's 449 seconds per mile, right? Now, this 449, I have to change that back, and I get 7.48 minutes per mile. Problem is, this is not time. So what I need to do is figure out 0.48 of a minute is how many seconds. And so all you got to do is I'm actually just going to, what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract 7 from here to get rid of all of the stuff in front. And then you just got to multiply that by 60. 29 seconds. Which makes sense. 0.48 is about a half, and that's about half of a minute. So 7 minutes, 30 seconds per mile. All right, I hope that's clear. And now the last thing, the average speed. Now speed is miles per hour, correct? Now what I have is I have my miles, but I don't have my hour. What I do have, though, is I have my 22,040 or 2,245 seconds. Thing is, I got to change this right here into hours. So check this out. Because the number of hours used to describe this amount of time is going to be a smaller number. So let's see if this works. 22,245 divided by 3,600. Now before I do this, I'm expecting, because it was 37 minutes, I'm expecting something a little bit more than a half. Do you see how I'm doing this? This and this are the same amount of time. This is pure seconds, and this is minutes and seconds. This is a little bit more than half of an hour, and I'm trying to convert this into hours. So, yes, a little bit more than half. So what I really have is I have 5 divided by 0.62361 repeating. Okay? Now, if I round this off before I do the next step, I'm going to really run the potential of making a mistake. This problem doesn't say round to the nearest anything, but if it did, and I rounded too early before doing my arithmetic, I'd get the wrong answer. So let me show you how to do that. Make sure you can do this on your calculator. I'm not going to clear anything or turn it off. I'm leaving this number in here. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 5 divided by, and then this is called the second key, second, And you see this button right here? Answer. 8.02 miles per hour. See, I did that. Make sure you can get that. All right, so here's what we got. I ran 5 miles. We found how long it took by adding up the minutes and the seconds separately, and then translating the seconds into minutes. To figure out miles per minute, or minutes per mile, I'm sorry, we couldn't do the division with the calculators with the time units, so we converted everything into seconds. And then we divided those seconds by the number of miles, which was 5. We get 7.48, but this 0.48 is not 48 seconds. We had to translate that. Okay? And now I don't even think I wrote it down. 7:30. All right. And then so this was our minutes per mile, and then for our miles per hour, you divide your miles by the number of hours. So it's 5 miles, and we had to convert the seconds into hours. Right? And I estimated there should be a little bit more than 5, and it was, and then you just divide in 8.02, which all makes sense. So anyway, I hope that works out for you. Your homework. Here's what your homework's going to be. Same 3 questions, okay? Same 3 questions, but here, we'll do another run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles this time. So this is the miles, and this is the time for each. Okay, so same 3 questions. How long did it take? I'll just write total time, right? Number 2, average pace, which is minutes per mile. And then number 3, what's the miles per hour? Okay, so there's your homework right there. Good luck.